Welcome, assorted traders, pilots, navigators, and the brave smugglers who bring us our Geknip. On this channel, I discuss the factions that design and build the worlds we explore in our games, movies, and stories. If you want to see more of that, hit subscribe. So, this is our last video in the No Man's Sky series, for now. As is typical for the end of a series on this channel, I'll be telling you some stories that just didn't quite make their own videos. As a warning, this video contains spoilers for the story of No Man's Sky. Alright, let's get into it. Alarms blare across your console and warning lights flash. Beams of bright hot fire cut across your view as you dodge and roll through space. You've been here before, many times. You've always come out of the fight alive, and that's down to skill, but skill alone won't save you. Sometimes you have to trust in your guns to shoot true when you pull the trigger, in your engines to keep roaring even when you're putting them through hell. You've got to trust in your armor to stand strong, even through the scorching heat of enemy fire, and in your squadron mates to keep you covered. And sometimes you have to trust that luck will be on your side. You spin around, lock on, and fire. The explosion is satisfying as your enemy is blasted into glittering dust and hot shrapnel. You can't celebrate yet though. That's one down, and there are more coming, determined to blow you to bits. The fight is long, and after it's over, you wipe sweat from your brow. You've done it. Your companions take up formation behind you, and you hear cheering over the comms. Another civilian freighter saved from pirates. It wasn't your first, and it won't be your last. Still, luck and teamwork have won the day. For now. Combat is thrilling, but every pilot needs a break from time to time. Jumping from system to system, checking in at stations, sitting around, meeting new people. That can get boring too, though. Sometimes you need something right in the middle. How about some archaeology? The map seller below the main promenade may have a chart you can buy. It can locate some ruins or other treasures to discover. You buy up as many as you can and set out. First, you locate the site of some ancient crumbling building. It's half buried in the ground when you arrive, but you can tell there's treasure here. Your scan tells you there's something underground, so you begin to dig. As you do so, you slowly uncover the sunken buildings and collapsed architecture of a culture that lived here long ago. You find several strange keys, and then you hit something bigger, a chest. You take the keys you found and open the chest and find something wondrous. An ancient tablet with alien writing. You can tell it's old. Someone will pay a hefty price for this. Not a bad haul for a quick trip planetside. Maybe you start exploring some more. There's a building on the horizon. Maybe a communication station of some kind, or a secured facility patrolled by sentinels. You blast the lock off the sealed door, alarms start to blare and sentinels begin converging on your location. But it's okay. You duck inside and find a terminal. There's a puzzle to solve, numbers arranged in a strange sequence, but eventually you figure it out, and when you do, you're rewarded. Units, nanites, new technology blueprints, the location of crashed ships. The danger was worth it. You scan around a bit and find yourself walking up steep cliffs and down rolling hills, and then, on the horizon, a titan looms above the trees. Getting close, you find the remains of a freighter, crashed long ago. Fragments of its crew logs still active. You brave the dangers of radiation and shock, blasting open bulkheads and doors to get inside. The remains of long-lost cargo await. You dig into the ground and unearth large containers full of more cargo. By the time you're done, your inventory is nearly full. Your day isn't over though. You find a site full of old bones that you can trade or sell for units, or maybe a monolith leads you on a brand new journey into the stars. The possibilities are endless, and you have a lot to do. You've done so much digging. Your backpack's filled with artifacts and bones, as is your ship, your freighter, your cargo bay, and anywhere else you can stuff items to carry back to space with you. You're tired, but it's time to relax. Head up to space and go make some quick units. You have tons and tons of stuff to sell, and now you don't know where to begin. You take off, your engine struggling against the weight of all your loot, and limp back to the station. Checking on the trade terminal though, you shake your head. You'll never make any money at these prices, and no wonder. The system's economy's in the dumps. Time to find a new one. Luckily, you installed an economy scanner on your ship and can check out some other spots. You know a few systems that would take what you're selling. You know a little system run by the Korvax that would pay top dollar for some of the minerals you've gathered. They got pretty good items for sale too that could make a tidy profit on the way back. There's a Gek-controlled system over here that would be the ideal place to get rid of some of the bones you've collected. And of course, if you've got a bunch of tech modules clogging up your inventory that you don't intend to use, heading to a Vy'keen system will let you offload them and maybe find some better ones. Better guns, better shields. So where to go? Well, you can hit them all. You head off, and by the time you're done and come back, you've got more units than you know what to do with. You've marked those systems down now, and soon you're doing regular trade from one to the other, buying up cheap resources in one and selling them to another for a tidy profit. It's good and relaxing, and honestly, pretty easy. You've established your own trade routes, and once you've got a place to call home, it's easy to get several of these routes running all at once. Knowing where to go can eventually make you rich. Sometimes though, trading, going back and forth from system to system just isn't doing it for you. You need some cash, quickly. And sometimes there's only one way to get it. You've been a spacer for a long time now, and without a doubt, you've had your run-ins with pirates. They take over your comms and burst into space demanding units, and if you can't pay, they'll take what they want from the debris of your ship and your slowly freezing corpse. You've always managed to defeat them, but now, it's time to do some pirating of your own. The galaxy's been peaceful for too long. It's time to break that peace. You fly through a system. In the distance, a freighter fleet sits, gently turning in the void, no doubt readying for a new mission. You call in your squadron and jump into range. The comms chatter's intense, and you can see the vessel bristling with guns. You've prepared, though, and you tear through the void. You take aim at their cargo containers and fire away, blasting them open. Now the fight is on, and soon you've broken the enemy, taken their stuff, and evaded pursuit. Time to sell, but you're wanted. Where to go? Well, there are some ports that are not so well patrolled. You open up your map and find what you're looking for. A pirate signal. The system's lawless, but the trade in stolen materials is good. You offload some of your ill-gotten goods and pick up some contraband on the way out. You want to keep your reputation up with these brigands. Don't want to get shot for looking at someone the wrong way. Pretty soon, you've put aside your settled life of trading and friendly banter for something more adventurous. Now, you're not at the mercy of pirates. You are one. But the pirate life can be too much sometimes, and eventually you long for something that gives you the thrill of the fight without all the hassle of constantly having to evade system authorities. So, you do some good deeds. Forge some documents at a station terminal, and suddenly, your record's clean. You notice a mission agent shouting at you. He has something for you. A mission, a bounty, a hunt. Your interest is piqued, and the money's good. You take it and head out. You take down your first, and the rush is intense. Even more so, the units and tech you get in reward more than make up for the danger. You could get used to this. Now you're a bounty hunter. Bounties aren't the only missions available from the mission agent. There are all kinds available to those high enough in their guild standings to take them on. You've been lacking in guild standing, but you're not completely out of the running. There are a few missions available, even to someone of your low rank. You've taken all the bounties they have to offer, and they were fun. Looks like they only have a few boring tasks left. You take on what you can. Take photos of strange places. That seems boring, but it turns out to be on a death world, filled with vile brood spawn and radioactive fog. Good units, but almost too dangerous. Deliver a package. That's easy enough, sort of. The client is in another system. You had to fly through a battle and evade pirates to get here, but you land and deliver the goods. Not bad pay. A storage module for your starship, units, and some reputation. You keep going, taking what you can until eventually you've got quite a high reputation among the guilds. Now you can take on the big missions, the hard ones, the 5-star pirates and the high-value treasures. You've made it big. You made a name for yourself, and that's great, but it can get lonely out there in the stars. Now, you want to help others, or show off. Well, that's alright, you can do that. You take off for space, and call up the space anomaly. The sphere appears before you and you fly inside. Light blinds you momentarily, and when you look up, you're in a space larger on the inside than on the outside. A lot larger. Possibly larger than any created space you've ever seen. There are a million voices chattering around you, missions being started, and you can join in. After you do, you have some new friends and a new resource. Quicksilver. There's a merchant here who can help you. Quicksilver can be turned into new items, and they can help you do it. You can make so many things. Decorations for your base, new types of plants and animals to display. You can make banners and posters, massive glowing light displays that you can hang up in your bases. You can build items to change your appearance, from new backpack shapes, helmets, engine trail colors, to all kinds of suit modifiers. You can buy items for your pets, things you can mount on them when you summon them. And of course, you can buy the beginnings of new life. By purchasing the Void Egg, you'll start down a path that will lead you to many strange places, and you'll see many strange things. And you'll make a new friend, a living ship. There's so much here that you can't possibly collect it all, but you're going to spend a lot of time trying. Well, you've done so many missions on your own and helped out others with theirs, but life in the stars is tiring, and sometimes you just need to put your feet up, have some Geknip, and learn to delegate. You've built a massive fleet at this point, frigates of every kind, and it's time to let them do some of the work. You speak to your captains, gather some fuel, and send them out. Your fleet command rooms are buzzing with activities. The captains are checking back in constantly. Things seem to be going well until one of your captains reports suspicious activity nearby. Nothing to worry about yet, but you have a bad feeling. Then the comms crackle again. You were right. Pirates. Your fleet group is in trouble. They've been attacked and are in need of help. You have a choice to make. Do you tell them to keep going, or bring them back to fleet command? The mission was going well, and while the damage doesn't appear to be too extensive, you can't risk it. You can't leave the crew to the mercy of wild space. You call them home, and while they brought back some good loot, they are in need of repairs. This is going to be expensive. You go searching in the cargo bay and load up on materials. You'll need them. Then you head out, find your damaged ship, land, and speak to the captain. Immediately you see sparks and smoke issuing from the gun turret. Comms are glitchy, and the captain sounds out of breath. They are relieved to be safely among the fleet once again, though, and mark the damaged systems for you. You head down and start fixing. The turrets need ferrite, the comms need silver for some components, you're running all over the vessel fixing up systems from the engine room to the weapon systems. You've done it, and the captain thanks you. On to the next one. And so you go, until all your vessels are repaired. Luckily, your other missions went off without a hitch. Your captains began warping back, their cargo base filled with loot and units. It wasn't as relaxing as you thought it would be, but it was very lucrative, and in the end, that's the most important thing. Well, we're getting to the end of our journey here, and while there will be many more ahead of us, I think it's time to talk about some of the friends who have helped us along our way. We've spoken about Nada and Polo, about Artemis and Null, about the Atlas and all the others, but there are some folks who were there to help us out when we needed it, and gave us some guidance when we were lost. One of those is everyone's favorite temperamental food critic, Iteration Cronus, a grumpy being living on the space anomaly who knows exactly what he likes to eat, and will tell you so. He'll offer you the chance to present some of your cooking to him, and more than likely, will scoff at your feeble attempts at dipping a toe into the culinary arts. But if you've practiced and done well, you might be surprised by his reaction. Rather than outright disgust, he may enjoy your presentation, in which case he'll reward you with nanites. Keep this up, and he can be a good source of profit, and a good way to practice your cooking. Another being living aboard the space anomaly who can be of help is Iteration Helios. This traveler has the appearance of having grown tree-like from some distant living plant. He stands behind a desk and regards you with hollow eyes, though his head seems to glow with a strange light. He's been called the Ancient Dreamer in times long past. Helios is curious about your travels and will ask you to submit data on discoveries you've made throughout your journey. He'll reward you for this service with nanites. He'll sometimes offer you an emergency signal scanner, allowing you to detect derelict freighters, a valuable source of treasure if you can brave the dangers aboard. Iteration Ares is another traveler aboard the anomaly who can offer us help. He stares at us through wide eyes situated on either side of his large, translucent head, studded with nodes of some strange biological material and threaded with veins and pathways. He's known to be a collector of oddities from across the galaxy, and when we approach, he seems to know what it is that he wants. He has a mission: retrieve an object of interest to him, or if we already have such an object, hand it over in exchange for some nanites. He's also curious, and will ask us about our journey. Milestones we've achieved are of interest to him, and he'll offer us nanites as well if we were to tell him about our experiences. Higher up, above the main hub of the anomaly, Iteration Tethys stands amid disassembled tech, broken parts, a special machine, and nearby stands a being known as the Assembled Construct. Tethys has the look of being used to living in the deep oceans. His skin is scaly, and his eyes seem adjusted to an aquatic environment. His frills glow with bioluminescent colors, and his spikes look ideal for catching fish. Tethys is a helpful being, willing to send us on missions to collect new technology and help us to learn all about it. When first we meet Tethys, he'll try and get our units out of us by deception. Watch out, he's a cunning being. The unit behind him allows us to scrap old multi-tools, and the Assembled Construct will help us on our mission to meet the autophage. And of course, no one gets far in the anomaly without meeting Iteration Mercury. Mercury is a being with purple skin and an extended jaw displaying a mouthful of teeth. He seems friendly, and while interacting with him will not yield much new information or any deals, he plays an important role. Mercury runs the portal room aboard the anomaly. He's known as the Teleportation Terminal Guardian and will help us with featured bases. If we want to visit some of the wonders our fellow travelers have created, then it's Mercury we'll want to visit. So, those are our stories for today. This isn't goodbye to No Man's Sky though, not really. Updates are still coming, and the universe is always getting bigger. So we'll check back in the future and see how things have grown. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate everyone who does, especially if you stick around to the end. If you liked the video, please hit like. And if you don't want dirty pirates getting their hands on your Geknip, hit subscribe. If you want to discuss anything, or think I missed something, let me know in the comments down below. Oh, and before you go, I want to give a shout out to my patrons who help support the channel. Our $10 patron is Watuki at the Artisan level. If you want to get your name in the credits, head on over and sign up. The Patreon link is in the description. You'll get access to an exclusive Discord and some exclusive art and stories that you can use or discuss and contribute to. And remember, keep your shields up, your guns hot, and your engines roaring. Alright, thanks Internet. Bye.